Setting the standard and raising the bar. Here on the only award winning radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Want to thank everyone, of course, for joining into the show. The Sam Cams are live, up and running. Instagram at Sam Newsman. Instagram, Facebook. It says Instagram. Instagram is like, well, that's this camera. Well, I need to sit there and make sure I say, and I have to sit there and make sure that I clarify everything. So this one can the Instagram camera is different than the Facebook, YouTube, and X camera. Well, once again, like I said, I'm setting the standard and raising the bar. What are you guys laughing at back there behind the? Listen, hey, listen. All you guys are just push your buttons and move your sliders. Would you just stop it for a moment? Okay, so here it is, setting the standard, raising the bar on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Facebook, YouTube, and X. I got the Sam Cam on Instagram live and running as well. Shout out to who is that? KJ. As a whole, man, this sounds like a Swahili name. Who knows? Anyways, I'm trying to shout out to everybody as they join in. I can't promise if I'm going to shout you out. Just know that I see you. Tip of the cap. It is the holiday season, and you're probably asking yourself, it is not 3:30. It is 1:30. I see a bunch of threes in my peripheral, so I just sit there said that. No, it is 1:30 on the 14th day of December, the year 2024. And I just want to sit there and say that we've been rocking and rolling since the beginning of the show. We talked to Professor Deep Cut Dave. If you didn't get a chance to listen to it, well, you guys, are we starting to do the whole podcast thing? No, we're not. What do you mean that? What do you mean that Transmission X knows more about podcasting than we do? What are you doing? What are you guys doing back there? Why? Listen, okay, so real quick. I just want to tell everybody, if you're not listening to Transmission X, the midnight news, then you're just missing out. But can I just tell you, what the heck are you guys doing back there behind the glass? You guys sit there, you push your buttons and your sliders. Listen, how is it that what? What do you mean that? Okay, all right. So we'll get to. So we'll get to TNT Nate in just a moment. Shout out! Just want everybody to know that so it's the holiday season. Real quick, it's the holiday season, and I want everyone to save money. And who do I want to save money more than people who collect action figures and toys? Well, of course, I'm going to sit there and say, oh, action figures and toys are very important. Well, I'm just going to tell you right now, before we go to what we're going to talk about, drones and all this other stuff, what I want to let you know is that it is the holiday season and you can continue to save yourself money. Or if you want to give yourself a gift, not give yourself a gift. Well, maybe it is. Maybe you might just give yourself a gift if you're a toy photographer and action figure collector. But listen, if you know someone who wants to have their own Toy Town, you are familiar with Toy Town? Toy Town. Hashtag Toy Town. Was it trademark Toy Town? That's all ours. That's all ours. Toy Town is ours. Toy Town trademark. We're saying it right now here on the 14th day of December 2024 at what is it? It's 1:33. Just want to make sure everybody knows that. But you have Skydro Walker, and Skydro Walker on Instagram has connected himself with Extreme Sets, right? Well, why did Skydro Walker connect with Extreme Sets? I'm going to tell you why. Well, no, 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 no. It's not just because you can save 15% if you use the code Skydro at extremesets.com. No, no, it's more than that. What it is that you are an action figure collector, or you may be a 40-year-old simp grabbing the soap and filming your wife with her boyfriend. But like, other than that, what you could be doing is that when in all of that process, you could be saving 15% using what? The code Skydro. That's SKYDRO at extremesets.com. Your action figure photography may not look as good as at Skydro Walker on Instagram, but you know what? Hey, listen, you're saving 15% while trying to do it. And I'm just going to tell you right now that 15% during this holiday season is great. Even though inflation's coming down and things are going better, and everybody thinks that Orange Man bad is now Orange Man good. Tim Cook is now meeting with President. I think Tim Cook from Apple met with President Trump yesterday at Mar-a-Lago. Zuckerberg and everybody else, they're all like, oh my gosh, I'm going to bend over and grab the soap like a Catholic altar boy for this, Trump. I listen, we'll get into that. And, but listen, don't get it twisted that we're not paying attention to all of it. And we are. So, okay, hold on, wait a minute. Okay. So, it is a toy drive. And I just want to sit there and say, as we start this 1 o'clock, the whole clock is just blown to smithereens. We sit there and we try to operate the clock, like the how we how what was it? Yeah. So all right. So the producer operates a clock, on his day to day simping. Corporate simping, and like so you have this clock here, and we try to sit there and do the clock here, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, it doesn't matter. Specifically when Sir Philosopher says, hey, you know what, I'm not going to do a show, and everything after afternoon is fair game. So we're going to do that, and we're going to keep going. We're going to keep setting the standard, raising the bar. Shout out to Cato's collection. I guess we don't have any data or news in terms of how much there was. I'll tell you what we're going to do. All right, so Cato, are you following Cato's collection on YouTube? He's on Instagram too, and all this other stuff. But at Cato's collection on YouTube. That's where we're gonna. And so I'm going to show up, and I know, and so I'm just all of a sudden saying, hey, Cato, this is what we're going to do. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm just telling Cato how we're going to do things. I'm going to show up when Cato does his live show, and he says how much we have won. It might be next week. It might be like just a couple of days before Christmas. It doesn't, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how it's all going to go down. But, there was a lot of kids in North Carolina that lost everything. There's several kids and families that lost their mom, they lost their dad, they lost all kinds of stuff. And here you are sitting there thinking, oh, well, you know what? This holiday season is great. But I'm going to tell you right now, Cato's collection Cato's Collection on YouTube. Cato's Collection, Sassafras, out down there where they are. They've been continually getting toys, action figures, all kinds of fun stuff for those kids that did not get to have a holiday. Or a couple of months ago, they sat there and they were sitting there thinking, it's like, oh my gosh, all these is water, the floods, and everything. It's the end of the world. And then out of nowhere, you know what? Some of those kids, their parents died, their brothers, their sisters died. And you're just sitting there thinking, oh, well, guess what? Everything is fantastic here during Christmas time. There's a lot of kids, there's a lot of families that really out of nowhere, 90 days before Christmas, they got their ass handed to them. It's like a freaking sucker punch. And you want to sit there and say, oh, well, like everything's fine with me. Everything's fine with me. Everything's going good. And I just want to tell you right now that there are people like Cato's Collection, Sassafras. Make sure you're following Cato's Collection. I think that they're going to ring the bell tomorrow. So maybe next week we'll get all of the data, all of the information. You know what Cato said that he's going to do his best, because here we have a lot of families, we have a lot of people that have went through the holiday season. They've went through the holiday season, and it's been a rough road. If someone showed up with an iPhone, oh well, tell me about your tell me about your holiday because you didn't have crap, and all of a sudden, like all these like no, listen, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So of course, like Cato is going to be respectful. Cato is going to have some video, but he understands exactly kind of what needs to happen. And so one of the things that I want all of you to do is just follow Cato, because we always talk about this whole, was it a toy for tots? And it's like, and you hear everybody, and I'm not. Can I just say locally, give a shout out to Toy Layer, my buddy Cody at Toy Layer, doing stuff for Toys for Tots. Give a shout out to my buddy Johnny, who owns Community Thrift. He just ended up giving a bunch of families a full Thanksgiving dinner. So you sit there and you think about what's going on. And we can sit there and talk about Christmas and what you're doing and all this other stuff. But are you sowing that seed back into the community? Because that's really what it's all about. Sowing the seed back into the community and recalibrating the gears and making sure that that this is the holiday season. And there's a lot of people that do not have what you have. Think about your mom, your dad, your family, all of that. Does everybody that have their own mom and dad? Do they have their family? Do they have people in their life that edified them as they were growing up, and are they still there? A lot of people will sit there and tell you no, they won't. And as I continue to just think about the holiday season, that's what matters. And that is what's important. But, as I say all of that, what is going on with drones? It's like, oh, well, it's the drones over New Jersey. It's the drones over. Well, listen, I had a buddy of mine. So you know that this radio show goes coast to coast and all around the world. I had a buddy of mine over in Seattle who said that he saw some drones too. And there's drones and drones everywhere. Oh my gosh, there's drones. It's aliens. Oh my gosh, they're coming to get us. Ah! Can I just tell you right now that that's not the case? Now, okay. All right. Can I just be honest with all of you at the moment? What was that? What do you mean they're not going to take me seriously because I have a Santa hat on and it's Christmas? Well, the reason why I have a Santa hat on should be even more why they should take me serious. Because here I am, and I'm looking at all this. Now remember, hashtag reporting since Roswell, the most trusted puppet in media. I was there. I was there. I saw everything that went down. And this was at a time before the Nazis were integrated into our government system that I had to sign some NDAs. This is like pre-Nazi NDAs. Thank God, you know, pre-Nazi Zionist Masonic NDAs. I don't have to sit there and say any of them. Like, so this is pre all of that. What is it? Pre what? What do you mean Tartaria? Hold on. Let's not go down that rabbit trail. That'll be for another time. But people have been asking me all week, as the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. They've been saying, Sam, what is going on? What is happening? Who is doing what they're doing? And so as I go through all of this, I sit there and say, well, it's not aliens. It's not. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, I'm looking right at the Facebook, YouTube, and X crowd. It is not aliens. Let me look at the Instagram crowd. It is not aliens. And you say, well, Sam, what is it? What is it and what's happening? What is going on? I'm going to listen. I know what it is. I do. I know what it is. I don't want to say exactly what it is because I have someone who is waiting over here on the phone line who knows quite a bit more. Like you see, every single Saturday, I have Professor Deep Cut Dave on the show. Do I ever tell you about Transmission X? Do I ever tell you about TNT Nate Allen? Quite possibly one of the most amazing researchers that I know. And if you're not following Transmission X, the midnight news, then I'm asking you right now, what are you doing? Because here I am, an award-winning real media puppet, reporting since Roswell. People often sit there and say, oh, so I've learned everything and I know all this stuff. And it's like, I figured it out. But, can I just tell you right now, the reason why I have Professor Deep Cut Dave, the reason why I have Nate Allen in my life is because I want to sit there and learn a little bit more. Now, while I have the actual reason what is going on, sometimes there's misinformation, there's disinformation, and all of that is thrown in the mix just so you could, as as you and your little human existence. And I'm not knocking you with your human existence because I'm an award-winning media puppet. I'm just telling you right now that they sit there, they placate to you, they sit there and they tell you what needs to be thought about. And oh, by golly, here's these things. Now, I'm just going to tell you right now, I know, I know what they are. But the reason why I'm bringing TNT Nate on right now is because even if I know what they are, which I'll tell you in a few moments, TNT Nate will tell you why are they doing this. And so as I bring TNT Nate, shout out to Transmission X, make sure you're listening to that all over social media. Nate Allen, TNT Nate, uh, there's a psychological aspect to this whole situation. And my question to you is, what is it?
Hello there, Sam. Are you there?
I'm here. I need you to educate me right now. Tell me what it is. What is going on?
Listen, there's a lot that could possibly be going on, Sam. This is all breaking news. We have everything. All the theories are out there. We have everything from AI controlling the drones to, if you just think back, just not too long ago, China put on the biggest drone display of all time, and they made the night sky look like a television screen. So
No. Listen. No. Real quick. Just not to interrupt you. You're absolutely right. So one of the things that's really crazy about this, you're talking about drones, and they have also but there's been, not only is it China, but there's been other people that have been using these drones, and they've been doing these shows. It's like this whole light show, and it's not just China, but this has been going on for a while, right?
well, I mean, you think about just recently in Ukraine. Ukraine rolled out dozens of AI systems to help its drones hit targets. So what we know is that AI is being used to control swarms of drones all over the world. And then you have Congressman Jeff Van Drew. He's Republican congressman from New Jersey, and he's made the claim. I mean, this is a big claim, but I'll clarify this in just a moment. That mystery drones spotted over New Jersey are originating from an Iranian mothership, quote unquote.
Whoa. Iranian mothership. Hold on, listen. This is exactly why I brought you into this conversation. Iranian mothership. But I've heard other people talking about that is some type of alien mothership. So, but so you talk about mothership, you use the term mothership like it's like, oh, like a mothership. Like that's a big word, Professor. I'm going to call you. I was a Professor TNT Nate almost at this point because I need to sit there and learn from you. Are you telling me that this is more than what we're thinking it is?
Well, it obviously is. I mean, especially when you have Trump on telling everyone that they should be shot down. Of course, he has misspelled in there like he does every now and then. Some people claim that that's on purpose, but he said basically that they should be shot down. If you've been watching TikTok, and if you have to follow the news, follow citizens first. Don't wait for these fake news propaganda agencies to tell you what they think. People are videotaping these things being shot down. Now, so Congressman Jeff Van Drew stated it was an Iranian mothership, right?
Well, hold on, wait. Iranian mothership. Does that mean that Iranians have some kind of space mothership looking like something out of Star Wars? Like, kind of educate me. Like, what do we mean when you say mothership? I'm sitting there thinking, oh, mothership. Oh my gosh, we got a new Star Destroyer or whatever. What are you talking about?
So he alleged that a mothership quoted, he said, and I'll quote, very high sources, very qualified sources. But as soon as he did this, the Pentagon shot this down. The Pentagon indicated that there was no quote unquote mothership, but when they have the FBI.
Well, yeah, whoa. Wait, it's the FBI who recently, hold on, wait a minute, listen, recently the FBI, Christopher Wray has decided to step down. Kash Patel is coming in. Listen, I have my old uncle Jeff, who's connected, who's connected to the feds, and sits there and says, "Hey, listen, Kash Patel ends up coming in. He needs to go up to the 7th floor and just wipe them all out. Tell them that they're all done. It's sign, seal, deliver. 7th floor, goodbye, sayonara. I'm telling you what, take care, whatever." But do you agree with that? Is it all about just getting cash in there? And then him going up to the 7th floor and saying, "Hey, you know what? Get your ass out, everyone. Like, you guys are not going like with, like, I want to ask you, because TNT Nate, listen, I have people that are known and they sit there and they say, hey, listen, and they were even questioning whether or not Kash Patel is going to do it. But then all of a sudden I'm seeing there that Kash Patel, he's probably going to get confirmed. He's got to go up to the 7th floor, kick their ass out. Is he going to do that? And what happens after that?
That we're having all these saviors come in to save our quote unquote government.
Right, but like right. Okay, so even though that we can't sit there and say, I'm not sitting there saying that Kash Patel is a savior, but can Kash Patel go up to the 7th floor, kick everybody out, and then does the FBI do these alphabet agencies that go back to, of course, Nazi integration? Like, but what's like? Does this is this a great step? Is this going to make effective change? If Kash Patel goes up to the 7th floor at the FBI, the JRO, the J. Edgar Hoover building, and he says, "Hey, 7th floor, get your ass out," is it going to be something that makes a difference, or is it not? What needs to be done?
No, what's happening, Sam, is they're fooling America, in my opinion.
Fooling us. Hold on, fooling us. Wait a minute. Let's wait a minute. Wait, you're telling me that I'm getting the okey doke? What's going on here?
Absolutely. What's happening is they allowed buffoonery to rule for 4 years. They have the Democrats have had cunning leaders for 50 plus years, and they expected America to believe that the buffoons they put into office or into a regime, they put in there, they placed in there, that those were the top candidates that we quote unquote elected, or they were selected for you. Then they give you the buffoons, and then they have everyone applaud for the new savior, the new regime to come in, and all they're doing is consolidating power. That's why you bring in the wealthiest man in the entire world to cut the bloat, to cut the fat off the government. They're consolidating power, and it doesn't matter who they place in office. But let's get back to the drones for a second. You have to remember that they're being used around the world for wartime scenarios. They're also being used in China to show off their fleet, 10,000 plus fleets that can move in sync, right? But then you have to remember that OpenAI is under a ton of litigation. The OpenAI, just the company that started ChatGPT, and that very recently, a man who was behind this litigation, Suchir Baliji, he was a 26-year-old found unalive in his apartment. So what you may be seeing is we know that AI controls the drone. Now we know that one of the biggest AI companies under litigation has their opponents all of a sudden found unalive in their apartment. And you also have NGOs cooperating with federal governments all across the world, I believe what you're seeing is just a test. Just like everything else, just like they tested the buffoonery government on America, I think that you're seeing a test to see how local governments, local police departments, how the governors respond. I mean, look, Trump wants them shot down. You got one governor saying that, or one congressman saying that there's a mothership from Iran. And you have the Pentagon, they are causing chaos. So they know exactly how to.
Well, I think that everything that you have said is spot on. But one of the things that I really think that people are discrediting is this whole AI situation. The reason why I'm saying AI situation is because as I'm going through this whole situation and I'm looking at how it's all transpiring, one of the things that I am looking at is the fact that this is just the beginning. When you say, and you say, well, what do you mean by that? Sam? Uh, I hesitate. I hesitate to go into this line of reasoning, and I'm glad you're still with me. You know, like I said, I have TNT. I listen. I have TNT Nate here with TNT Nate Allen with Transmission X. But one of the things that I didn't want to talk about, and of course, I told this to the audience a couple of hours ago, actually, that I do know exactly what is going on. And I want to talk to you because hashtag reporting since Roswell. I do have the understanding of what's going on and what is happening and how this is all transpiring. Now, this is breaking news. Breaking news that you're only going to hear here first. You're on the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is 2 o'clock Eastern time on the East Coast. And everyone throughout the week has been wondering what this is. I'm going to tell you right now exactly what it is. And I want to get TNT Nate's response of exactly what it is. Now, prior to this moment, when of course you hear my beautiful puppet voice tell you the beautiful puppet truth, you've been told that this is just what is it? It's drones. Oh, it's drones and it's this. And then people say that it's an Iranian a what? A mothership? A mothership? Nobody wants to. What is this? What is this? ET? A mothership? So there's the mothership, and then people I hear all the time saying, "Oh, well, listen, Sam, you know what it is? It's China. It's the drones, and they got the this, and they got the that, and they got the this." Can I just tell you right now the reason why? And listen, you've not heard this from anyone else. The reason why? It's because they're not me. They're not me. Setting the standard, raising the bar. The only way a real media puppet who's been setting the standard and raising the bar, winning awards all over radio, about to move into corporate radio because we've been kicking ass so much in college radio. Can I tell you exactly what it is right now? The reason why, it's China. It's a China drone. No, it's a Russia drone. It's a this drone. It's a that drone. Can I just tell you the reason? Real quick, it's not little green men. It's not little gray men. It's not anything that has to do with any of them. And unfortunately, or fortunately, you get to sit here and listen to me here at 2:05 on the 14th day of December in the year 2024, tell you exactly what it is. I'm going to tell you exactly what those drones are. As those drones are flying around, as those drones are going over New Jersey, they're going all up and down the East Coast. Had a buddy of mine in Seattle and Tacoma. He saw one. Hell, the drones are all over the place. And you're wondering what the hell they are. What is going on? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now what is exactly going on. The AI is sentient. The reason why they don't want to tell you that this is a bunch of AI drones that are now, hey, oh my gosh, they're figuring all this stuff out. They don't want to freak you out. Why? Because here you are, you have an AI assistant on your phone, and everybody's like, oh, AI is great. Oh, AI. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these AI drones, that the government does not want to tell you about and say, oh my gosh, by the way, these are AI drones. Just so you know, the software has finally updated and Skynet is activated. When I say all of this and I think about this, the only person that I really want to talk to about it is Nate Allen. Make sure you're following him at Transmission X. Go to Transmission X, search Transmission X all over social media. Nate Allen, the drones are sentient and they know what the hell they're doing. And the government doesn't want to tell us about it. What do you say about that?
Well, so it makes me, I remember reading an article from 2021, and Germany was warning the world that AI arms race was already underway, all the way back to
19 when? Hold on. What was the year again?
2021.
19, is it 2020 or 1921 or 2021?
No, 2021.
Okay.
The foreign minister for Germany warned the world that an AI arms race was already at hand.
Yeah, you know what? I would sit there and say they probably already knew that back in 1921. But go ahead.
Right. But they have the spec in this article of the drones, the current drones we're seeing now. So he said that if left unthreatened, it threatens to destabilize the world. Right. Then, if you look into this a little further, you can find a random theory incorporating Space Force. There was a 25-year radar operator on Reddit. He said for a major agency. Now, you can never take these, you have to take these as a grain of salt, but you need to take in all the information and then go figure it out for yourself. He said the drones were part of the military drill being conducted by Space Force.
What do you mean military drill? What military drill by Space Force? What are you talking about?
That's what he said. He said there was a military drill being conducted by Space Force. That's why we have to look into everything. So now we have to go find Space Force. We have to go see the deals that they were making all across the world. Like I said, this has been used. This is war gaming for a long time. And there's no, in my opinion, it's not a coincidence that these drones are being seen over congressmen's houses, like the governor of Maryland. He has his own video of a drone just hanging out over his house. It's very creepy. But they're also over naval weapons bases. And this is military posturing, in my opinion. And if the AI is sentient and the AI is doing this, then we have. I mean, my slogan: you have to, if you're the military, you have to be ready.
Well, listen, you have to be ready. You have to be ready. But listen, if these drones are, circling over New Jersey, and now they're starting to circle over, and if they're AI sentient, listen, this is kind of, Skynet is active at this point. And is Skynet active? Is this a dog and pony show? Is it what's going on? I need to know from Nate Allen exactly what the heck is going on here.
My opinion is, as of right now, based on the information that I've looked through, is that this is military posturing using the sentience, the intelligence of AI.
So it's AI. So real quick. So it's AI. It's AI in some certain aspect. It is being done, but like you have, you don't ever see these military operations, just flying over. You have all of the local news, ABC, NBC, CBS, the local affiliates. I'm not talking about, the soap grabbers over in New York. I'm talking about, just the local stuff, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening above, my sky and my, my Christmas setup, and I see all these drones. Uh, but is this going to continue to go down this path? Is there going to be a level of confusion because, as of course I've already said, it's all AI. The reason why they don't want to tell you that it's AI because it's going to freak everyone out. But what do you think? How are they going to move forward?
It wouldn't be the first time.
What do you mean it's not the first time? So they've done this before?
Well, you just have to remember the original War of the Worlds broadcast. It may not have been in this scope, and it may have been using the fake source.
You can't sit there. Hold on a minute. Pause. You can't sit there and talk about a radio broadcast back in the 1920s or 30s being the same equivalent of me looking over up above my house and saying, "Oh my gosh, there's drones here." Or do you think it's wait? Are you telling me this all part of the same plan?
It could be, it very well could be, and it's just a more modernized, realistic approach.
So what's the game plan, and what are they trying to do? Where are we going, and what do we need to be aware of and conscious of and move?
To look into. People always should be. I mean, you got to remember too, Serge Monat, the guy who brought up Project Bluebeam.
What a Project Bluebeam. I've seen these memes all over social media and saying, "Oh, it's Project Bluebeam," and it's like blah 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 blah. But is that that's all disinformation and just kind of, it's just kind of muddying everything, the situation?
The term disinformation or
Well, I want to know about Project Bluebeam and people talking about, oh, Bluebeam and blah blah blah. Yeah, keep going on that road.
So there were 4 steps in Project Bluebeam, and of course they made this guy out to be a quack, and he may have been, right? So I want to focus on one thing: this misinformation and disinformation. There is only such thing as information unless you are the one disseminating it and you know that you're lying. As far as civilians go, we have to take in all information and figure it out for ourselves. I know that's not the liberal trust the science approach, but it is actually the most scientific approach. So what I'm saying is, go look back through history and find everything you can, like I do. And what you find is, you find that there are patterns that exist where governments test the people, and they use different avenues to do it. And they'll bring out these people like Orson Welles and like Serge Monat. They'll bring out these people to see how people react.
Okay, so people, wait a minute, real quick. So people like Orson Welles, the people in Hollywood, is that's just trying to get, like, I guess if you lick your finger and try to understand where the direction of the wind is coming from. Is that what they're doing?
I mean, they do this in more realistic settings too. Some could say that that COVID was used in a very similar way. I mean, when you have a 99.67% survival rate, and they have people wearing masks in their cars, you could say that was a test, a test that it seems the majority of people failed, an intelligence test, in my opinion. But that being said, this could be used in that in that very same light, except a lot more realistic because, like I said, they are shooting down these drones in New Jersey right now.
So they're shooting them down. What is happening? Are they looking at them? Are they like taking apart the motherboard or all this stuff? Or are the men in black just showing up at a New Jersey residence saying, "Give me my drone, give me my drone"?
You know, as well as I know, every time this happens, the authorities just so happen to be there before anyone else.
Of course, of course.
They know that they're there. So the Pentagon can openly deny all they want, but when you have congressmen telling you that based on sources that they knew exactly where these things were going to be, now whether his mothership information was disinformation provided.
Why are they using the term Iranian mothership? Hold on, pause. Like they're using the term. I feel like that's like mothership conflagel. They're just conflating the term mothership, Iranian, and all this stuff, because then they were using the term. Oh well, because if you look at if you Google, NASA was saying, oh, there's a mothership, an alien mothership coming around, even though NASA decided to just staring at the stars when they found the Kraken underneath the waters back in 1972. Like so, but here's the reality. Like, what is going on here with all of this stuff? And there's because that's what NASA is saying. I know what you're saying, and of course, we're all we're all trying to use discernment in this situation. But what's going on?
My job is to point people in the right direction so they can figure it out. Like, so you have to look at where these drones are going. So right now, unidentified drones were sighted over, again, U.S. Ramstein Air Base. These are going over military installations. And the reason why you have to give some credence to people say that China could be behind this, because who owns or who has bought recently the land around all of these?
That's a really great point. China has bought so much land, farmland, and all kinds of stuff, hundreds and thousands of acres around military bases here in the United States. That's a fact. That's not conspiracy theory. That's no tinfoil hat nonsense. But you think that has a key to what's going on? Do you believe that they're Chinese drones? Because I'm telling you right now, I believe that the AI has become self-aware and they just don't want to tell anybody about it.
And that would be interesting, but the fact is that China owning the land around our military bases, and now we're seeing the drones around military installations. And then also the fact of the matter is that China happens to be in possession of the largest amount of drones of this caliber in the world. In the world. And the fact is, like, so you just got to put the pieces together. So it doesn't. It may not be China because I mean we haven't received any factual information about what they're finding when they're taking these drones down. But the fact is.
Well, listen, I'm hearing that the drones are just falling down in some random person's yard. Some random Joseph, and then all of a sudden I don't hear anything about it after that. So who came? Who are the men in black that came and grabbed this drone out of some New Jersey person's front yard? Because these drones are falling down. But then I'm sitting there, the media doesn't want to tell me who it is. The government doesn't want to tell me. The government, listen, when John Kirby gets online and gets in front of all these people, he could be standing next to JKP and her fraudulent ass as well. But listen, my question is, they're getting up and saying, oh, well, we don't know. Like, you know that we know that they know. So, but if we're sitting there looking and thinking about all this, like, well, how as constituents, as just just regular humans. Well, of course, I'm not a human because I'm an award-winning people. But how are humans are supposed to sit there and take all of this? Like, how are we supposed to? What's going on?
That's why we have the technology that we have, and why you see something recorded. Because you're gonna have that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen that someone gets in a video of exactly who's coming to pick these things up, and then we can follow that trail. But based on just go back to this China thing for a second. You have this post on X by Robert Sterling. It's a random post, but tell me how true this is, right? Because go talk to anyone in the military and ask what they're most afraid of. Doesn't matter what they do, infantry, aviation, Navy, intel, special ops, logistics, anything else, they'll tell you it's this. And then he posts a video of the amount of control that China has over 10,000 plus drones. They put on the most significant display of drone control the world has ever seen. And the fact that they own land around our military installations, all of these, and now they're seeing these drones around them. Is it a coincidence? I don't believe in coincidence. But could these drones, because we've also known that AI has not been so people friendly. Could these drones be sentient, as you say, to be collecting information on our military and we the people? That's who knows, because we don't have the facts to back that up yet. But is it possible? Absolutely.
Well, one of the things that is possible is that every night, well, whenever you get a chance to do it, is that people can listen to what. All right, go ahead.
My space where I conduct transmission because on November 25th there were two, I wouldn't say attacks, but I could not post on November 25th. Two times I decided to post, so I had to fortify my operation a little bit. So these transmissions will continue, and they will continue nightly once I finish this update. So if you are a listener, just stay tuned and be ready.
And where can they find you again? Like where, like, because social media is all over the place. Like so real quick, we have Nate Allen, TNT Nate, the host of the Transmission X podcast, one of the only places that I go to for information, and it's at night. It's late at night. Listen, you might already be in bed, but the reason why TNT Nate Allen does what he does is because he has to sit there and sift through all the noise and the nonsense to make it all clear for you. And you do this whenever you can. And it seems like that there are attacks now because I guess that you're setting the standard and raising the bar and, giving people the information that they need to hear.
My 3 most recent episodes will always be uploaded.
Well, hold on. What was the website again? One more time. What was the website?
TheTransmissionX.com.
And how and they can go there to get everything. Keep going. What you were talking about?
There's always the 3 most recent episodes will always be on my website, and you can go to Spotify, you can go to Apple, any podcast platform. You can go back and listen to all the episodes there. We're coming up on the 50th episode, so yeah, we're doing good. We had some technical difficulties around the 25th, but I'm taking strides to make sure that doesn't continue to take place. And the Transmission X Midnight News will be there every night, usually around midnight 2. I do that in an homage to Coast to Coast. I have always been a late night person, and I do that also to disseminate the news from propaganda.
And real quick, so you have that. Where on social media can everyone follow you?
Transmission X on Instagram. There's also Transmission X on Truth. I post every episode goes on Truth Social, so you can find me on Truth Social as well.
Now, one of the things that now, real quick, before I let you go, one of the things that's very interesting, and one of the reasons why I love the Transmission X podcast, TNT Nate Allen here joining us right now, is that you really go back and you really peel back the onion layers of a whole lot of stuff. Now, I was talking with Professor Deep Cut Dave earlier. We were talking about a lot of the esoteric things in terms of Christmas and the holidays. My question to you is, are you going to be doing any type of holiday edition to talk about some of this stuff? Because if there's anybody who is not Well, I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with the 7 or 8 different handshakes, but you're not a part of that white and black checker floorboard. But you could sit there and tell us about what exactly the symbolism of Christmas is. Are you going to be doing any type of Christmas symbolism show this holiday season?
The fact of the matter is that I have really doubled down on a spiritual and religious walk as of late, and
Doesn't wait, real quick. Doesn't the symbolism of Christmas and the disinformation of Christmas and why people maybe they erect a tree and the presents and the Santa, there's a lot of symbolism and esoteric and power and all of that. But there's something to be said about that, and I'm sure that you and your wisdom could really educate people about. So, is there going to be any type of, I guess, bellwether? Hey, listen, let's.
transmission will show my listeners exactly what I've been going through in that walk. And yes, on Transmission X, I am a Christian, and there will be opinions, and that's just the way that it has to be. You have to. I will give my testimony, and I will be playing other people's testimony. And the reason being is because I believe that every human salvation is very important, and I love everyone in that sense. And so I have to tell the truth in regard to helping people with their walk as well. And the best way that I found how to do that is by showing other people's testimony. That's why on Transmission X, you will always hear the whistleblower, you will always hear the victim side, you will always hear the people's testimonies who have actually gone through these life events that have such an impact on reality itself. And so yes, there's always going to be an esoteric layer that I will always peel back on Transmission X because it's a part of what makes this reality real. And so yes, we have our year anniversary episode will be on Christmas Eve, but it will not be due to any pagan celebration. I will be very clear on the fact that I think people should wish goodwill towards men, merriment, and I think that you should celebrate Yeshua, our Christ and Savior. I think you should celebrate him every day and not just during a pagan holiday on the 25th of December.
All right, that is TNT Nate. Real quick, before I let you go, where can everybody find you on social media, online, and how often do you post? Give them, this is, hey, I'm just throwing you an underhanded pitch. Listen, tell everybody about where they can find
you. You can find me at look up Transmission X all over social media for The Transmission X. You can find me at thetransmissionx.com, my website, and anywhere that you listen to podcasts, primarily Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And make sure if you listen to leave me a review. They really help me get me out there. Thank you very much. And as always, most importantly, be ready.
That's right. Be ready. Be ready because TNT Nate says that you need to be ready. And that's, well, oh no. Like I said, that's really important. Be ready. TNT Nate says be ready. Make sure you're following him all over social media. Now, I did have a plan to play all of Mickey's Christmas Carol, but I remember I told you guys at the beginning of the show that we were going to blow up the clock, and it doesn't matter. So as we continue to set the standard and raise the bar here on the only award-winning radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet. Remember, a couple hours back, we were doing the whole Christmas Carol thing. So, hey, play it again, Sam, and let's rock out this Mickey's Christmas Carol.